In one of my recent videos, I built a Japanese-inspired bathhouse in the Sulfur cave, and someone commented that I should build a whole Japanese city underground, and I thought that's a cool idea, so let's do it. So obviously the people that live here might have suffered under the toxic gases in here, so they changed form. You're so cute. I think to start it's pretty good to have a little centerpiece. But before I do that, I need to figure out a block palette first and foremost. Let me introduce the new Sulfur and Cinnabar blocks for the people that haven't already heard of them. So we have different variants of, like, we have polished and we have bricks and all of that, and then we have walls and, you know, that kind of stuff. Then we also have stairs and slabs and walls. Did I mention that we have walls? Yeah, we have walls. And then we also, very recent edition, have these weird sulfur spikes that look kind of funny. That's the blocks we have, right? We have Cinnabar, which I think they made that more vibrant, did they? I mean, this here is much less saturated. I think they changed that. And now we need to figure out like a block palette that works together with these. And I know that mangrove and bamboo work really well with these. I mean, it's a perfect match. I kind of want to go with these colors as well. Let's put like a little centerpiece, because for that I'm looking up a reference right now and I need slabs for this. So I'm taking my sandstone slabs and I'm making a staircase. Holy guacam, what the actual, that was scary. Caught me off guard. I kind of want the centerpiece to be a little bit elevated, because obviously there is like, the cape goes up mainly, and when the centerpiece is like super low down, you can't even see it. So I'm suggesting we put it high up on a pedestal, and I guess I'll make the stairs afterwards because I have not even designed the centerpiece yet. So let's just design the centerpiece. Hey, lovely, this looks like table. So for the centerpiece, I have a reference open and I want to use the red. I want to use the cinnamon bun blocks and these fences here because I think that's a good combination. I don't understand why they made them like so much more vibrant. Now they don't really go together anymore. I don't like that they don't go together. Like, make them vibrant too then. Like, what's the problem, Mojang? What's your problem? Maybe we can make them kind of like this. And then in the reference I'm looking at, they have kind of like two of these next to each other, and then they have them on the other side too. Putting some fences there just for reference. I might actually like to have fences there. Unfortunately though, they don't connect, so I could use debug stick, but I'm not a cheater. So I'm thinking of fences. Ah, that doesn't look good. I might use just like trapdoors. Couldn't put them in front. That would work. So that's the vibe. Ah, they're so skinny, yeah. Maybe I should just go with this. I kind of don't like using so many of these because they have always these frames. Oh god. I don't know, I think the skinny ones look better actually. You know what, I'll just go with it. I don't care. I don't care about it anymore. I love me. I don't care about it anymore. I wish it was like clean cinnabar. Like, we obviously have like normal cinnabar, we have the bricks, and we have the walls. The bricks and the walls, they're so much more saturated. And the walls have these dividations. I kind of want them without that. Either make these match or give me like a clean one without any dividations. I know dividation is not a word. I know, just for the people that think I don't know. So now that we got that, let's put some stairs down here because I wanted to do that originally. I couldn't. So now I can. So that's what I did, and it looks quite ugly. It looks like an ugly pyramid. Okay, that's actually not what I wanted to do, if I'm completely honest. So I'm just gonna remove the corners here. So that's a lot better now. I also added some full blocks around the ends here, so we can put some fences on it. I'm thinking sulfur, I'm not sure. Maybe also sandstone, but I don't know what's better, sulfur or sandstone. I kind of like the sandstone more. Maybe I'll add candles on here to make it more interesting. So now we're gonna go back to the centerpiece and design something over here, like maybe put in some of these fence gates. But the problem with the fence gates is they move up and down. Maybe that's a good thing though. Yeah. And then I'm gonna put like some full blocks on top here, because in the reference that I have, there's now like some really fancy designs here. But I don't know if I do that, because I don't know, man. What I could do instead is either use sulfur to bring in some of the yellow, or use dark oak to bring in some darkness. And I think I like the dark oak more actually. Ooh, the chisel. It's a spider, look. Actually, I heard people saying they think that they're gonna add a new mob, but I think the thing is here in this biome, spiders actually spawn as poisonous spiders as much as I'm convinced. So I think that's probably the reason why this is like kind of spider related thing. This has nothing to do with a new mob. It's just like in this biome only poisonous spiders spawn. So I guess it's kind of like the interesting thing about this biome, but I might be wrong. So I was now thinking in order to blend this in a little better, I could use some signs here. Ah, I love this. Actually, now I am thinking about using mangrove signs to make this a bit more blended in. Obviously, that's so dark that you don't really notice it. Maybe that's cool. I said I like it like that. Now I kind of want to decorate the center part here, like add something fancy to it. So I'm thinking could add like sandstone and birch, and then an item frame with like a heart. Okay, actually that you don't see the heart. Maybe I'll make it with sandstone then. Look at the little heart, isn't it cute? And maybe now, since like it's all blending together, maybe like some more of these. No, maybe some oak, maybe some spruce. Spruce is very dark looking already. Okay, I might want to go with the oak, but we could technically transition over to the spruce. Why not? I think that's cute. So now I should put the roof onto this. And for that, I'm really vibing doing a cyan roof. One thing I want to do though as well is use the cinnabar under the roof. So I think I'm going to surround the whole thing with the cinnabar first. And then I'm going to put the cyan roof on it. I usually like carving out the roofs by putting trapdoors like this. And then I can transition over and make it go higher up. Kind of like so. Obviously now the cyan part is all just a little bit too high. I feel like technically I could put it a slab lower by doing this. Could do it like this. The only problem is that the red blocks, they would have to be here. I think that's actually okay. It actually looks better, I think, without the signs there. Now that I think about it, usually they have like the kind of support things under the roof. So I could do something like this as like support thing. I'm actually cooking, guys. I actually like that. And now I thought I could add like a little detail here, because in the reference they kind of have something like that in the exact same color as well, and I like that. But I also want to texture the roof, and for texturing I do want to just use copper actually to go in a bit brighter. And then also for in here, the middle part, I want to use some prismarine to make it a bit darker around these areas. I'm kind of thinking about replacing these pillars with that, or just the normal cinnabar walls, because I just really don't like how skinny they look. Maybe the normal cinnabar is not bad. It's super bright, but it's just better, I think. So now I'm gonna put one more level on top. That's gonna be a little bit smaller, obviously, because as you can see, the roof is going inwards. So for that, I'm kind of thinking of... It's funny I say so for that, and I'm thinking just sulfur that. That is too high up. It's probably just gonna be like that size, like just very small. I'm just gonna put like these here. Up there, I can then use the stairs again. I just added some of the details I have down here, just the signs basically, and the fence gates. And now we're gonna put another roof on this. So I think for the center here, I'm gonna place the steps here so I can do the same little design as I did here. And then on the top, I want to add a A-shaped kind of roof. So I'll basically add stairs here. Unfortunately, it has to be red here because I have red underneath, and nobody looks at it from the top. And even if you do, I think that has kind of a flare. That's the shape. Now behind it, I think it would be smartest to put like some kind of red blocks. Maybe not 100%. Maybe I can like put like the center as like a dark oak stair. Yeah, that's too little of a change. So just gonna make it like this, and then just put a sign here, here, and here. Lovely jubbly. So now for some finishing touches, I was actually thinking of adding some trapdoors here, or maybe not trapdoors. Instead, I could add chains and then hang down some lanterns, maybe like this. And then, I mean, I did that design before on another video. I think I really liked it. it, so I might do it again. Yeah, why not? I think that's so cute. The centerpiece is almost finished. There's just one thing I would like to change because I just don't like the look of the mangrove trapdoors with these holes in it. So I'm thinking there's two options we have. We could either use fences in front of it like this, which already looks a ton better, or we could also make this full blocks and then put fences in between. No. Okay, so now I definitely want to add more than just the centerpiece. So there's one thing I would definitely want to add. In a city, you usually have like these streets, and along these streets there's like a bunch of houses. In the bottom floor they usually have like some kind of shop, and that's where we get our groceries from because they need to survive and eat something, you know. So I'm thinking we're gonna make one along here and one along here. So I'm gonna have to build a bunch of tiny little houses, but before I'm gonna do that, let me just make this terrain a little bit flatter because it goes up here and then it goes down again, and that's unnecessary. I think we can all have it on one height so we can actually work with this. And then I might have to change the flooring a bit. Since I have sandstone here, I could make the path out of sand and sandstone technically. Could use suspicious sand to texture with, and also some birch for a darker color. And I added paths all around the place. Yes, I did decide to not go with birch. Instead, I used upside down stairs because they have this texture here, like the sandstone blocks from underneath, and that's pretty good. I made it go all the way over here. I made it go all the way there. I made them basically cover almost every spot here. Obviously, there's no really smaller paths, which I might add them when I put in some houses, but I guess we gotta put in some houses first to know where we're going with this. And before I do that, I want to actually do something in these corners, like water or something, to make it all look a bit more fancy. Okay, so maybe we can add like something cute like around here. Ooh! And then I was thinking here to decorate these walls actually would be cool. Like some fancy little detailing in the walls. And now I'm gonna fill this in with water because oh, I love this watercolor. It's so good. Maybe actually to make it a little more detailed we can no. Some little stairs here. Maybe we could add like a little fountain feature here. Maybe something like this. No, maybe something like that. Then like we put some water. No, that doesn't work. That fills up the whole thing. Maybe just use glass. And then at the top we want to add like some sprinkling. Technically I could use white glass actually, because if it goes crazy like this it would look more white. If it's like in the air like that, I think that's cool. And then actually, because we can, and I mean it would make kind of bubbly effects, why not just add like the sulfur down here, the potent sulfur, so it actually makes these little bubble effects. Let's go with that. And that's the look of it, the centerpiece. Now I want to pick the straightest street, which is this one. And I want to put houses on each side here. So we're gonna do the first one together and the rest one I'll do off camera. Some of them I'll do on stream, and you can watch the VOD on my channel if you want to. So let's start with the first one. That's gonna go around here because I do want to leave a bit of space around there. And they shouldn't be too wide because obviously there's gonna be many of these. Some of them I will leave open at the bottom or like add like windows to it so it actually is like a shop and we can design the shop later. But this one I want to have closed off, at least for now. Now I want to add one pillar into the front like that so I can add a little bit of like some dividation to give it that aesthetic of it being parted over here. It's so dark. Ooh. So under the roof I'll put another row of these blocks. And then we can have like a little bit of a going down moment, I would say, like that. And I'm trying to shade this a little bit. I love how well we can build with red now. I would also go so far and actually make this go inwards in here. So we have like a little pathway where you can just go in, and then the main door is going to be around here. And then the build is a little bit more interesting. So back here, we're going to add a little door. Maybe something like this. I'm unsure about this here. I kind of want to have slabs here, but then these will be cut off. Could also just add stairs instead. I kind of like it. Why not? I'm not thinking though that there's really low contrast here. So maybe I want to place some barrels here instead. Really hard to face them the right way, but they have like also this kind of striped aesthetic because of the string holding them together. Oh yeah, that's actually good. And I don't know if I want to add like a stair under the roof to give it like some kind of Now the second floor will definitely be put a lot further back like that. And now I have this actually on a lovely level where there's like kind of this half step above the roof, which gives it like a dark frame. And now in here, I kind of want to put fences at the bottom row, and I'll frame them with some trap doors to have this more straight ending. And then I want to put windows behind this, but they will also have a little bit of a division in here. The only problem with that is, yeah, it's that connecting. Okay, since it doesn't want to work, I might want to use fences instead. Like that. It's a little bit ugly, but I could put a frame in the front here, maybe. That's a little weird looking from underneath, but I actually like that. Now, if I were to put fences on top, that wouldn't look good because it wouldn't be framed at the bottom. Maybe though, I could use some fence gates. Why not? And then there's going to be another roof on top. So now there's this question. Do I want to put glass behind the windows? If yes, should it be white or should it be brown? Which that actually looks really good. Or should I do like the paper style kind of windows and actually not make them see-through and put like either oak or birch behind it? Which the birch looks really fitting, but glass, I don't know, I'm vibing the glass. How about we just use glass in the middle? Maybe there has something. I kind of like that. Let's just continue with the part that is on this side, because over here I'm just gonna put like a wall straight, just covering it. And then over here where we have the entrance, there would be another roof on top. And then on top there, I'm just gonna have another level with another tiny little window. But I think this time I will make it a bit different, like so. And then some glass behind it. And then I'll just pop another roof on this. So now here we have a lovely little street that has trees. No, that's not trees. It's buildings, houses, it's not trees. Yeah, but as you can see, I added a bunch of houses. This one we did together. That's what it looks like now. I did at the back on stream, and that looks like this. And I also added this house on stream. But obviously, one stream is not enough to get all of this done because Josi can't reach chat and build at the same time. It's impossible. Mission impossible. Anywho, I also added more than that. So I added also this one here, where I added some red pillars and some deep slate roof to add like 3 different roof colors, so we have this kind of thing going on. We only have like these 3 roof colors, and then we have a red roof over here. I used the chiseled bookshelf to decorate a little, and I think that's quite a cool idea. Then over here I used some banners to make the windows. Then we have one more house here. There was originally like a dripping deep slate pillar going down, but I kind of didn't like the aesthetic of it, so I replaced the deep slate pillar with a house. And then over here on this side we have this little house on the corner here. Very covered actually, but that's okay. Then we have a dark one, and then we also have this one here. I heavily inspired that by a reference because I thought that reference was really cool looking. Then we have another open one here where we can actually put a shop inside. Then we have a little tiny open one, and we have one with the basic color scheme, kind of like this. So let's actually design these kind of shops. What I've seen is like that people use trapdoors for these. I'm just gonna be so free and cover this up completely. I mean, I could technically just move the door like to the side a little. And now we need to find like a bunch of blocks that symbolize food. Let's see, we have a block of bamboo that could look like bananas. And you know what also looks like bananas? Candles. But this one needs to actually be high up because this is like the level on the back. And then I found a reference on Instagram that has designed this kind of stand that I'm trying to recreate here. I'm just gonna pick similar blocks or the blocks that they pick because they are really good for what this is supposed to be. And we should definitely not forget about the copper and gold. This definitely looks like vegetables. But I would say we could make a fish shop as well. Like this is like vegetables. And then we make like a fish one over here or something, because I'm thinking for the fish we can actually use obviously this. This looks like fish, but this could also be something else. Let's say this is fish here. And then the iron ore also looks like fish. So this could be like a fish shop. So the reference I'm using is from Burr_builds, and they also use the daylight sensor. I think that's a cool idea. Go give them support for their cool idea. It's not my idea, so I just wanted to mention that. What they also did is they used signs for here, so this is kind of like an in-between, and I think that's a really smart idea. And then they kind of had trapdoors here and then signs, but I can't do both. Also can't do this, so I guess I move the bamboo here. Then we can have some signs here for the prices, and I'm thinking thinking maybe we can add like another stand in front here. So I added one here with some pickles and some coral block even nether stuff. Yeah, I think they can look like vegetables when you look at it from a distance. And now I'm thinking maybe like we want to add like a little logo on here because this is a shop with groceries. So what would be a better logo than a banana? This is not a good banana. This looks like a banana, just a little skinny in the center. Maybe though I want to try normal sulfur because I don't like the frames around it. And I know what final touch it will need. Boop.
Nope.
Nah, no, don't tell me I can't. Don't tell me Okay, I'll use a pickle instead, it's fine. Lovely. So to spice it up, let me just write something on here. And I made the sign say veggie. I know that's not how you spell veggie, but hear me out. It's an odd number, so I had to do it like that, you know. And I think it's like kind of like a brand name then in that sense. So the brand is called Veggie with a Y. And now I had the idea of actually adding some cherries. Maybe like this. Technically, to add a little highlight, I could also use cherry buttons. You know what? That's cute. And recently in the stream, we came up with this design for strawberries, so we gotta have to add a strawberry. Let me just really quickly do the other shops and show you. And I finished the shops. Let me show you the shops. So first we have veggie. So for veggie, we have some vegetables. Here's some vegetables there. Definitely vegetables. Then I also added some item frames here with vegetables because these are actual vegetables. So I thought maybe that would help. And then we have apples, pears, oranges, melons, and cherries with prices that definitely make sense. I just winged something, okay? We have even better prices here at Fishy. Because Fishy is a little bit fishy. And over here we have a little fish. And then we have some fishes on the side of the item frames as well. We have the little fish stand here. We have a little stone cutter to cut that fish. Here over here we have some grills with fish. So we can make backfish. So as you can see, we have fish, we have sushi, we have backfish. The prices don't make sense. I'm just kidding, okay? Understand? I'm just kidding. I'm not being accurate here. And backfish. Yeah, backfish is very expensive because it's a German word and that's why it needs to be very expensive. It's baked fish. Cooked fish, I don't know, baked fish. And here we have a little bit of a kitchen area. And if we go to the last stand that I decorated, and it is, don't judge me if I pronounce it wrong, takitori. Takitori. It's something like a skewer. I don't know how to pronounce that either, but I had to Google. It's basically chicken and a little bit of vegetables on it. That's kind of what it looks like. And over here I just added some chicken meat, and we pretend this is also chicken even though it's rabbit, but kind of could look like a chicken. It looks similar, so I thought why not that, just to make it less like repetitive. And here we have some grilling ones. They're also here. This one is just for smoke because I think that looks quite cool when you look at it from here. So yeah, that's the last market stand that I added. Now that this street is like complete, I would say we still have 4 more streets to go, as you can see, or like 4.5. Also, I feel like these dripstone kind of things, they're growing because like this happens here and I am always removing them. They're coming back, which I'm worried that the longer I spend in here, the longer these are gonna grow. Maybe you can skip to the beginning of the video and see if these were that long, but I think they weren't. I'm getting a little bit claustrophobic in here. Anywho, the next one I want to build is gonna be right here, and we're gonna do this one together. I'm gonna do the rest of the street off camera again, but we're gonna do the center one together because that one can be like a fancy looking one, you know. So let me just pop that house here. Pop. Easy. Do you see the house? Yeah, don't. We have to build it. So for the block palette, I am definitely thinking of using the cinnamon buns again because they are just fantabulous. But for contrast, I guess dark oak is good or spruce, but I'm not sure. Both is good. Both. I have a reference. Here's a reference that I want to recreate, obviously with a little bit of a different block palette because I want to use the red. I'm thinking of doing the foundation with sandstone. Maybe I'll do it like stairs this way and then stairs that way, so we have like this little carved in look. But technically I'm also thinking, because like the floor level, it's like some kind of wood color, could make this mangrove. This is not mangrove, Josi. And then like I could put something in front of it. And then we also have fences around here. I'm not sure if I want to make the fences dark oak or spruce because I kind of want to like use spruce, dark oak and all of these things equally as much. And then behind it we can put the walls here. Okay, now there is this little dividation foundation in between these, which I can't make them divided in between because obviously that is kind of like not connecting. But what I can do is go outwards and then do it on the outside. I could also put it behind. Maybe I'll try out the behind thing on this side. And actually the behind thing looks a bit better because it doesn't stand out. It looks more like the reference that way. So I might actually put it behind. So now it kind of connects to the roof. I could make like a full block on top and then I have like slabs here. And here the roof would basically be on that. I could technically use trapdoors underneath to have like a little bit of a interesting pattern. And then there is like a center roof on top that is a little bit higher up. That would be kind of like around here. I feel like I need a lot of space upwards and there is a lot of sulfur hanging down. I now actually get the idea to transition over with signs here for the parts where it goes up, which is so smart because look, I have trapdoors underneath. Here I can't put trapdoors. Slabs I mean. So I use signs. I got that idea from the market stand over there that I copied from Burr Builds. Fantabulous idea. And now I want to actually put in walls behind this because this is just like yeah, something. On the reference, the walls, I don't really understand what they're doing, like what that walls are made of, but I know that they have like this frame on the edges with a dark wood. At least it's just a little bit darker. It's a little bit darker. This feeling inside. And then at the top is this other dark frame. Then this top level here is filled with a white, but I'm gonna put it one level behind because in front of it I actually want to put trapdoors to add little frames in here. I'm not sure if I want to use trapdoors though or actually fences. Maybe both is good. So I might also put the barrels behind it so I can already play around with the fences and trapdoors here. That's what it would look like. And now is the question if I want to play around with trapdoors or not. Okay, what's better, the left or the right? I actually like the right more, even though usually I like to detail and over detail, but it does look better without. So, sorry. Love me, hate me, baby, there ain't no lie, baby, bye, bye, bye. So, for the center, there is like gonna be a door, but behind that there is like these frames. They are actually made of the lighter wood color. So I could technically, if I wanted to, do these divisions with spruce. Could technically do the horizontal ones on the outside and then the vertical ones I would do on the inside. That looks actually pretty cool. I like that. And behind here I'm gonna add the brown glass, even though maybe black ones will also fit here. Yeah, I think that's more contrast. I actually like that. And then now there is the question, which door is a better fit? Is it the dark oak or is it the spruce? I think I like the spruce more. And I'm also not sure about the fences in the front now. I might want to make them red. That is better, I think. Yeah. And then over here we would have a staircase. And then add a little railing here. I don't know, maybe I'd just use some cinnabar underneath it. Give me 4 blocks. This is not okay here. Now the top level. The sulfur's getting in the way, guys. I feel like this is like kelp. It just doesn't stop growing. We are never, ever, ever gonna stop growing. I need some trapdoors because I want to frame this on the edges. And then I want to obviously also put some of these frames in front here. Maybe like this. And then I would put another level on top that does the same. And I added a roof. I also adjusted some little things. I put trapdoors on the fences here to give it a little frame and also bring up the oak color to the top levels a little bit more. And then for the roof, what I did is I added this row of slabs. Then I added these stairs here changing up in color every now and then because that's what I see on the reference. They're kind of like striped. And then I framed the bottom of the roof with red, but what you see is like this is like going like up and down here a little bit, like this kind of bow pattern, because that kind of thing is also on the reference a little bit differently, but I did it my way. I did it my way. They also have like this interesting like frame on the roof in the reference, and I also tried to recreate that here. So that is almost it, but we're not 100% done with this building. I do still want to add lanterns kind of hanging down. I wish I could add them here. Oh wait, I can. But actually, why these lanterns? This is a big building. I can add big lanterns. Could use the pearlescent fog light because they're more red, but then also they're too pink. Or I go with yellow, which I hate the look of glowstone, but maybe we can make something with it. Why not go with fog lights? They look better. Ooh, that's cute. And then hang this underneath. Now, I want to add these little weird things that I see on the reference. I have no idea what this is. I have no idea what it's for, but it looks kind of fancy. So let me just try and add that. I just don't know if I want to do it with spruce or with mangrove. So we're going to have to try out both. So I'm just going to place some random stairs. Oh, that actually looks cool. Wait. Okay, let's try out mangrove on the other side. What's better? Oh, hard decision. Maybe half-half? I like that. I don't know what I'm doing right here, but I like it. Yeah, I like it. I think I'm happy with this house. We can move on to the next ones. And I just magically popped them in here. And you can definitely not tell on the day counter that this took half an eternity. Hashtag 100 days in a sulfur only world in creative mode. I mean, we're close to that. It's day 92. It's funny how this has actually taken me as long as a 100 days video would take me. But I mean, it's a whole town, so I get it. You wouldn't get that done in survival though in 100 days. So we're actually quite far, and as you can see, I did more than just that street here. So I put in some houses here. I put in some houses on the other side, and as you can see, I also put in houses on this side, 3 more here, and also here 1, and then here, and I also added houses to this street over here. If you want to see all them in more detail, there will be a download of this world on my Patreon, but we aren't even done yet, because over here we have a bigger project we want to work on, because at this point over here it's kind of like the end and like the last corner we have here, and it kind of has space into the top. So I thought, why not make like a little tower, like a little palace, a little temple, whatever you call it, which is gonna be the last project we're gonna work on together. I'm gonna fill in the last houses after we do that, and then we're gonna finish it up with looking at it without night vision, because without night vision this will look a whole lot different, let me tell you that. So first and foremost, we will need a foundation. So I'm thinking of now putting some upside down stairs here on top, so we have like a little bit of a more interesting pattern. And then we can obviously add like a little staircase leading up to it. Then I want to add some more pillars on this. So with the first set of pillars, we already can put on the roof there. Now the higher up I'm going, I am going more inwards. And then we pop another roof on top there. And now I'm just gonna pop another level of this on top. It looks a little weird right now. Good thing I haven't textured the roof yet, because it looks a little weird right now. The roof is like so tiny that it looks quite hilarious. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extend it downwards actually. Like I'm not gonna add like on top. I've already made curvatures here, so I gotta have to remove them. But what I want to do is I want to add 2 more levels going downwards so that the roof looks a bit larger. Now I textured the roof a little bit. I just gave it a little light outline. I think that makes it definitely easier to recognize the shape of the roof, because it's kind of big and it's kind of hard to see without the shading that I did. So now we can actually work on the walls. The thing is, if I put the walls right behind the pillars, there might be the problem that they connect. No, that doesn't look bad actually. Maybe though, to add a little bit more of an interesting pattern, I could use barrels for the walls itself. I will go with this. Now this looks quite empty, but we can put in still some windows. So I would say I think this spot here is quite the fitting one for a window. I could technically do it like this, I guess, and then frame it on the outside. I guess that works. I would like to put another window here next to the door. So now that we have windows, we can add some more details by stairs around these edges here, like adding like fancy things that like I did earlier without mentioning. And I think that's it. Now, last but not least, I'm just gonna pop in the rest of the houses. And we are officially done. As you can see, I popped in the last houses and the town is officially fully built, and as you can see, it's all lit up because I have night vision on, but we can get rid of it. And let's be ready for the final reveal. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that was actually faster than I thought. And this is the look of the village, town, city, definitely. I don't know what this would be considered. So I'm just gonna walk through this here and just say thank you guys for watching through the whole video. As you can see, it's day 106. So I actually spent actual 100 days in this world building all these houses, which that took me such a long time. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and you like the builds, and if you want to take a closer look at all the builds, I would really appreciate it if you get the world download on my Patreon. It's just €5 and it would mean the world to me. So I just want to say thank you to the patrons that already support me, and I also want to say thank you so much for the amazing fan art. See you in the next one. Bye bye!